Hello again, YouTube. So I told y'all we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. I've been watching a lot of content. Took a couple of days without making videos. And I've been, like, some stuff I've been noticed. But other stuff, like, I look at it like, yeah, I need to talk about that. I need to address this. And one of the things is arrogance. I'm noticing something. And let me tell you something. From a prophet's perspective, from a preacher's perspective, your money doesn't give you the allowance or the ability to mislead and deceive people. What do I mean by this? So I noticed that sometimes when people get squeezed, they want to bring up what people have. Now, I can see if you bring up experiences, because experiences are one of the greatest teachers, if not the greatest. But here's what's been going on, not just on YouTube and social media, but in the world in general, where I live at, where you live at, is people think that somehow they could just tell people whatever they want to tell them if they got money, if they financially successful. That ain't how the truth work. That ain't how preaching work. That ain't how motivational speaking is supposed to work. How it's supposed to work is you telling people the things that's gonna help them. And you do it. I don't understand how some of these people sleep at night. You dealing with people's lives, but you don't even care about their lives. I mean, all you care about is money. So they'll say things like, man, I ain't trying to hear what he talking about. He a hater. He ain't as successful as you, or he ain't as successful as me. That's the type of stuff they be saying. And they think that somehow that is like a hall pass, like a free pass to be able to tell people whatever you want to tell them. And they supposed to listen to you because you got money. What if you're in the Illuminati? What if you are a shapeshifter going back and forth to hell? So because you got money, we should listen to you. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. We want the truth. And we don't care about financial status. We just want, if somebody knows something, like let's say it was a dude that God gave him the gift to be able to predict the weather and to predict the future, right? But he was living in the middle of nowhere in a tent. A lot of y'all be like, man, I ain't gonna listen to him. And he'll be like, let's say he knew something you could do to avoid death. Like, don't take that street. Somebody gonna run a red light and you like, man, he ain't got no money. I ain't trying to hear him. That's what people is doing. People think that arrogance somehow qualifies them to speak, or finances qualify them to speak. What I want to talk about on this video, and the title of this video is that arrogance is keeping some of y'all from learning, and arrogance is why some of y'all shouldn't be teaching. Your arrogance is too high. Your arrogance is too high. Like the Bible says, your pride will go before a fall. See, some of y'all, I'm finna go deep right here. Some of y'all, the reason why don't nothing happen to you is because the Most High know you can't take it. He giving you a break. And it's situations like that all over the world. It's not because you so smart. It's not because you the greatest. It's because maybe, I'm just throwing it out there. Just maybe he know you can't take it. I'm just throwing it out there. So a lot of these people shouldn't be teaching because they're too arrogant. And a lot of these people can't learn because they're too arrogant. Man, I ain't trying to hear what he talking about, man. He ain't got no money. Again, I gave you the example of the guy in the middle of nowhere in a tent. If somebody told me, man, I know this guy, everything he say be happening. Be like, where he at? Oh, he in the middle of nowhere. But it's only 10 miles that way. You think I'm going to say, well, I'm going to look him up on Google to see what his net worth is? That ain't going to be, I ain't going to lie, I'll be looking up net worth. But in a situation like that, I wouldn't give a crap what his net worth is. If this dude is on point, like, where he at? I've been down right in that tent. Hey, tell me about this. Tell me about this. And I wouldn't think a second about his financial status, because some of the falsest, biggest wolves got the biggest bank books. Y'all already should know this. The devil be attack. Please, you protected him. Don't let him. That's how the devil is. But with people she already got, go over there and listen to him. You know what he talking about. And it'd be, well, we ain't gonna even get into that deep, dark stuff. But y'all get what I'm saying, right? This is why it's a famine for the word. They did, listen, you know how many people throughout history they did this to? This ain't just start. People try to judge everything by money. Okay, look at the rich man and Lazarus, for instance. The Bible say the rich man was in hell thinking Lazarus was supposed to help him. You ain't help him. He was eating the crumbs that fell. The rich man wasn't like, hey bro, here's a sandwich, bro, to Lazarus. But then he expected Lazarus to do something great for him. That's how people is. That's one of the biggest signs of arrogance. A person that expect people to do everything for them that they not going to do for them. They want you to do all this stuff. They want you to lay everything down that you got to do to help them, but they don't help you when they can. That's entitlement. That's arrogance. That's what I'm going to tell you something. There's people arrogant in every race. But that's one of the things that's hurting black people. We too arrogant amongst each other. We need to be helping each other more. I could tell y'all some stories. Okay. Let me see. Should I tell? No, I ain't gonna put that out there. I was gonna tell you something that's going on right now with my mother and my sister, but I'm just going, because I'm gonna leave that off. But y'all get what I'm saying. When you a parent, we, especially us blacks, we gotta do things different. Stop putting your kids out. Y'all let your kids stay there. Give them a task. Make them cut the grass. Make them buy a pizza. But they still your kids even when they grown, man. Y'all, a lot of people all over the place, but black people in general, their kids is lonely because they've been around you all this time, and then you start talking this, you gotta go. Why they gotta go? Who says they gotta go? That's what's wrong. I'm telling you, man. And then they get to hanging around drug addicts and all kind of other stuff. And now you wondering how your kid got involved in all this mess. If they would have been with you, they probably wouldn't have. In some cases now, some kids is just too far gone. I ain't never putting my kids out. They gonna do what I say. That's all it is to it. You ain't finna bring all that chaos and misery in my house, but you welcome. Sometimes kids be closer to their parent, and y'all be pulling in United States ninja stuff. Teach them how to be responsible. Teach them, okay, I'm gonna get just save up your money and try to pay cash for your property. Keep upgrading yourself. Keep doing better for yourself. Don't let them get complacent because they ain't got no lot of responsibility. But don't throw them to the wolves either. Be like, man, you need to be getting better and you need to be building your income up. And we need to get our stuff in order so they can do what they need to do and we take care of our own business. And I know I'm all over the place, but for some of you, that means moving. You live in broke towns where you ain't gonna never get over the hump. But arrogance is part of that too. It's like you can't teach and you can't learn. You're too arrogant. When you are a parent or a grandparent, you're supposed to be able to teach them some things. Like the same thing I be telling y'all about women. I told my son earlier, man, don't be out here trying to fall in love with these women. I said, you're going to be like JJ. Remember JJ on Good Times didn't listen to his daddy and he ended up getting with a drug addict because she looked it good and she climbed out the window and left him in the hotel? I'm telling you, a lot of stuff we see be before the time, man. That was like more of what's going on now with these women. Just like and I'll probably do a separate video on that if I remember. But just like what Too Short, what Snoop Dogg and Nate Dogg and all them dudes used to talk about, that stuff applied today more than it did back then. In the 90s, girls was actually, you had more good girls per se. They said, I ain't doing nothing with nobody I don't go with. And they barely would do all the stuff on their own boyfriends. Now these chicks, my cousin did a post on Facebook that somebody else posted talking about how you dudes is eating cat, paraphrasing, that these women be selling. And she was like talking about them. And you know, arrogance. Arrogance is why, watch this, a woman would even let you selling and you know guys is splattering all over you in that area and you still got enough arrogance within yourself to let a guy do that special act. That's a special act. That ain't for everybody unless you just a nasty dude like that. Some dudes just nasty like that. I did a short. I said, if I can't lick, I can't stick. What I was saying is, if somebody is nasty to the point where it's just not even feasible to do those types of things, why would I mess with them at all? But for one, me and my standards, I ain't just gonna just run around just all right, she cute. Smash, smash, smash. Not me. I'm more than a dog. I'm at the top of the food chain. I'm a human being. Some of y'all be walking around acting like dogs and breeding like them. Man, don't you know if a pit bull get loose and it's a poodle right there, he'll breed with a poodle? We ain't supposed to be like that. But I see a lot of dudes teaching on YouTube that shouldn't be. You too arrogant. You too arrogant. And when a person is arrogant like that, a lot of what they say ain't gonna stick. It ain't gonna build the heart. It ain't gonna build the mind. It's just gonna be, that's why you have a lot of preachers in churches that the people feel good when they hear them, but then when they leave, they can't remember nothing they said. Sometimes that be because that dude is just arrogant like that his word ain't got no power. It's just a performance. When it come to talking to people and when it come to reaching people, in a lot of cases, it comes down to either being power or performance. It's just performance. If you arrogant, it's just going to be performance. You might be good with all the bells and whistles. You might have a good setup. You know how the preachers be? Their churches be beautiful. Some of these YouTubers got beautiful setups, just like preachers. It just remind me of that. And the message is a nice performance, but it ain't gonna help nobody because you're too arrogant. You're too arrogant. Eventually, you're gonna turn people off. But some of them, just like the preachers, be having so many people that even though they turning people off, they still got a lot of people. That's how it be. I mean, it's been that way for a long time. You got preachers that be doing all type of stuff that just don't add up. And they might lose 2,000 members, but they had 20,000, so they still got 18. Life ain't always fair. And some of y'all done gave up because you looked at that. Don't ever give up on what you need to do and what we need to hear from you because of this thing you don't like or that thing you don't like. You still need to add what you got to add to the world. Don't ever give up because stuff don't look right. I could have stopped making YouTube YouTube been getting over on me for a long time. And I told you, they admitted it. Like I talked to them in 2015, I think it was, and she admitted that they were freezing my views because they didn't know if they were real. And the reason why they said that, because like I told y'all, if y'all watch me, y'all know I told you this once before. The glitch was they'll show, like if you talk about something, it's going to have it all lined up. Everybody that's talking about the similar thing. And it was showing their views. And it would say like 700 people watching now on every video. I wasn't nowhere near the wisdom and knowledge I have now. And I was blowing T.D. Jakes, Joel Osteen, all of them out of the water. Because their videos was coming up and it was showing me how many views they had. And I don't know if it was them posting it or people who wanted other people to hear it posting it, but the stuff they was posting, it was showing me how many views that they had. So I had one particular video, it said 8,400 people watching now. And T.D. Jakes was like maybe a few spots down, 14 something. Joel Osteen was on there, 22,000 something. And we was shocked. Like we couldn't, I said, man, look at this. So we just kept going down the line. I was beating them every time. And so the next day I'd be like, I said, okay, my channel finna blow up. I go on there the next day, my views didn't move. So I tried to talk to them on many occasions. I finally reached them, and she said she thought those was bots because she was comparing me to the more known personalities, and she didn't understand or want to understand that sometimes people watch what they want to watch. Don't y'all know a lot of these people is getting pushed? They either special agents, I ain't gonna say the groups, or they pay, like, it's, what is it called? Click Farm. Coach Greg exposed a lot of people on the sneak tip. See, the thing I like about Coach Greg, one of the things I like about him is he don't get too far into these people. Like, he'll use them to further his own stuff. And you'll hear him, like, if you heard him last night, he mentioned a certain channel, like going back over there with that. Well, I think the video is 2 days old. I was watching it last night. But what I'm talking about is, he mentioned, I think it was Click Farm. I didn't even know about that. But when he mentioned it, I was watching him and he mentioned it, I went and looked it up. What they do is, a person can pay a certain amount of money and they'll send their people to make it, to watch the videos and long enough for them to get views and to do this and to do this and to do this. And y'all boy Andrew Tate admitted he was renting Bugattis and he was using those things. See, one thing about him, keep that mic in front of him, he gonna start telling on himself. He do it every time. That's what fake people do. That dude ain't really street like that. He tell on himself every time. Like, y'all, if y'all notice, like, some stuff, I cut it short before I actually go all the way in. Pause. Because some things just ain't meant for this platform. And I'm going to tell y'all something else. I noticed, well, never mind. You see, I just did it again. Because if I say what I was finna say, y'all gonna know what I'm talking about. But your arrogance is keeping you from learning. Y'all try to disqualify people. Oh, he used to be this, he used to be that. I ain't listening to him. What is he now? What is he now? So you ain't gonna listen to somebody that might have learned something that can benefit you because of this or that. Now, I would tell you to move cautiously, but if somebody got something to offer, let's hear what they got to say. I mean, as long as you ain't got people bones hanging in your yard, your backyard, or something real too strange. Y'all just be trying to, and listen, man, listen. Do not let nobody box your mind. What do I mean by this in closing? Tony Gaskins. Every time I mention them, here they come. One thing I noticed that he does, they act, oh, you hating. I never said I don't agree with anything I heard him say. But one thing I noticed that he does is he tries to box you into him and box other people out of you. The way he does this is he spends a whole lot of time trying to tell you who you should listen to. Nobody is to be trusted blindly. Nobody is to be exalted because of this or that. That's the purpose of what I'm telling you on this video. Because you got money, that ain't gonna make me listen to you. If you a wolf, I'm not listening to you. I don't care if you're worth $1 billion. Because first of all, what worked for you might not even work for me. So why would I let you deceive me? Do this, do this, do this. Some of these people, man, I'm telling you, the best financial advice is going to come from the person that has failed and they're willing to share their stories and tell you, this is where I messed up. Don't do this. Y'all be listening to people who are already there. And I notice, like, because I listen to them too, they don't be offering no solution. That's why I say this is the solutions channel. They just want to sell something. Okay, you left a lot of space in there. Let's talk about this in the middle. And here's what they do. Man, you broke. I don't got time. So can't nobody ask you a question? So we just supposed to say, oh, that's such and such. Let's believe everything he says. The devil be lying. Humble yourself. You'll get a whole lot further. And that's why some of the greatest people in the world right now is going through all kind of garbage. Because the Most High knows they are great. So he wants to make sure that they don't spill off into this thing where all they care about is money. It's a lot of people right now that's going through all types of adversities in their personal life. And y'all too arrogant or too docile so you wouldn't understand. You would think, just like Job, friends, that God is judging them. But the whole time, all he was doing is just proving Job was his. Nobody want to go through what Job went through. But that's how he chose to do it. Some stuff he just be proving you his. That's why you gotta do what Job did. I guarantee you a lot of stuff Job said to the Most High during that time is not in the scripture. Guarantee. He probably's like, man, why you doing this to me? Why you letting me go through this? Why you letting these sinners have these Lamborghinis? Why you letting these sinners have that Ferrari truck? Whew, that Ferrari truck. I ain't doing nothing weird to get it, but I'm going to try my best to get one before I die. I ain't doing no grifting, no eating blood or none, eating or drinking blood or wearing dread. I ain't doing none of that. If I don't get it, I don't get it. And I play the long game, pause. But anyway, thanks for watching. All these people coming up here. We got more videos. Stay tuned.